Yo, there you are. Yo, I've been looking all over for you, man. What up, everybody? I'm Dave Miranda, and this is episode 7 of Just Give Me 5. I hope you guys are doing well, man. It's a nice, beautiful, sunny day here in Phoenix, Arizona. Like my man Rob and I used to always say, 72 and sunny. Yo, if you caught episode 6, we had none other than the legendary Benny RC on. And yo, let me tell you, I'm still trying to digest the amount of history and knowledge and stories that he was kicking to us. Incredible stuff right there, man. Salute to you, Benny. And once again, shout outs to the homie Chuck and everybody over at Trill. I'm actually rocking one of the new Trill coats right now. So salute to all of them for real, man. And make sure you guys check out Trill. But today's guest has been a musical gem to the Arizona scene for many years now. She has an incredible live show and is by far one of the best to ever do it. She's also a music instructor, and we're going to definitely get into that. So ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, I present to you Tina Estes.
Hey, it's your girl, Tina Estes, and all I'm saying is, just give me 5. I think everyone begins singing when they're born and they're screaming into the world. So, but I had like an affinity for singing when I remember making songs when I was a toddler. My dad had bought me like a little toy organ from Goodwill. And, and so I started like making up songs about the saints and like about everything I was reading in the Bible. I mean, because that's what I was raised up in. And so, yeah, I mean, I was singing myself to sleep every night. It was just like, it was a comfort for me ever since I can remember. My earliest memories are of me singing and playing the piano as a toddler. It's one thing to really love what you're doing on stage or, in the studio. It's a completely different thing to share that and to pass on that knowledge to a hungry young person or a hopeful adult, at any age, and to be able to manifest or help manifest greatness in someone else is miraculous. I can't explain it. But the transfer of energy between you and your student is divine. It's sacred. It's spiritual. So I've had a lot of those types of interactions with my students, and I have like a rebellious nature. So I do not teach like formal music theory. I hone in one-on-one with my student and their strengths and their weaknesses and their passions and their light, and I teach off of what they bring to the table. So I'm never going against the grain of who they are. I'm just essentially trying to bring it out. It's actually hard to scale my business as a music teacher because it's so individualized. Right. But that's essentially what I'm looking to do in this next chapter of my music lessons. Because of COVID, right. It's going to be really hard to get in front of people. So I'm now putting together a pre-recorded video type of content where it's still the same type of magic that we can create together. Right. It's just now you can press play, you can rewind, you can look at the video on the flight to your next business trip. Like, it's for anybody. It's for children, people on the go, but especially I'm going to be targeting those adults who are very busy, who actually been wanting to play an instrument or sing or work on their performance forever. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on this time. I had to think about this, Dave. The greatest concert I've ever been to actually had to be one that I was part of. So, and I actually, two of them. So I opened up for Macy Gray.
Okay.
And that was a sold out show. And it was amazing. Like the energy, the vibes, they were out of this world. It was just so good. And my band, it was a 3-piece. I love 3-piece bands. We were just on point and we were in sync. And it's one of those things where you can't really explain it, but that chemistry that you have with your musicians on stage is, again, it's spiritual. It's like, you know, that new movie Soul. No. What was that new movie by Disney? Soul?
Soul, I believe, the Jamie Foxx one.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That new movie.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's great.
That it's so good. It's so good, and like it totally. I was like, yes, this is it.
Right.
Like when you're playing and you get in that zone, you kind of like lift off from the ground. It's
elevate up. It's
you
just,
yes,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. It's just so that one was really good. The Prince tribute concert was so good. I was so nervous, but that was an amazing concert. Like Crescent Ballroom. Shout out to Crescent Ballroom.
Yes.
Okay. I love Crescent Ballroom.
Right.
They put together an amazing lineup of bands, musicians. I was so nervous because they put me on second to last. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't have the 10-piece band that's coming up after me, or the 5-piece band that was right before me. It's just me and maybe I think it was like me and a drummer, or again a 3-piece.
Spiritually, it was you and Prince.
Yes. You know, it's funny. This is what I was getting to.
Right.
Was they loved it, and I revamped every Prince song that I did. Like, it was like very. I discovered a lot when I was rehearsing for that concert in myself. Like, how can I still be very true to myself and still honor the greatness that is Prince? After my set, there was a group of ladies sitting there, and they were like, "You are the prototype of Prince's muse." And I'm like, thank you. Like, that was probably the best thing that I could have ever heard from a concert like that.
Yes.
So I was like, man, yes. And it showed me a lot. Like, I love being at concerts with local musicians, and you know, a lot, like, there's a lot of etiquette that goes behind being a good musician. One of the things that really makes my blood boil is when a musician or a band will go up and then they leave after their set.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, I always honor the craft so much that I am very intentional about what I do with my time before and after I go up. And everyone just did so well. And this is, Prince, like, this is a far removed, detached icon, but everyone was the community, like in the green room, the community on stage. It was just, it was so, it was profound. It was like a lot of unity for a concert like that. And like there was no bad vibes, there was no competition. It was just honoring one of the greats. That's such a broad and obtuse question. But what motivates me is this journey of self-love. And as a child, not really getting a ton of love, being around a lot of dysfunction, I had to reparent myself as an adult. And I didn't know I had to reparent myself until a few years ago. So that motivates me, because ultimately when I look into my children's faces, shout out Jahaziel, shout out Kingston, I know they deserve the best me possible. So I'm not going to give up until I reach her. And so that starts with self-love. That starts with replacing unhealthy habits with healthy habits. And, you know, motivation also in a music sense is I'm not the best musician. I'm not the best singer. I was born with a disability, actually, which makes it difficult for me to even do music and to learn lyrics and to sing them and to be on my note. So that encourages me. Like, I'm never gonna be good enough, and that's okay. Like, I am practicing. I still practice, like, even though I'm like mom 24/7, have several different businesses that I do and hustles and all of that. Music has always been my place of comfort and peace. Growing up, my piano was my best friend. I could always talk to my piano. I could always write poetry and get out my feelings. But yeah, what motivates me is my underdevelopment, like my lack, because so my newest endeavor is playing the drums. And so you'll see on my Instagram page me, like, for drummers out there, me switching from closed hand to open hand. Like, that's huge for me right now. Like it's just becoming a better servant to music, really. That's what motivates me, to keep integrity, and keep it going like that. It's so easy to answer because I have children that love and adore me. So I have, like, my own personal fan base that follows me around every day. And you know what? And I pray that everyone feels tangible love every single day, especially now. And that's what, even in my videos with my children that we share on Instagram, that's what we want to convey. And so people reach out to me and say, man, like, I watched that video several times. It reminded me of me and my mom, or it made me cry. And it's just a simple video of me and my daughter messing around on the piano. But like, I didn't grow up around stuff like that. So I'm highly conscious and aware of that lack in the world. And knowing that not everyone has children or has a loving family, that's the reason why I force myself to share my music. Because if it were up to me, I would hide behind a wall and sing. Like, I don't want to be necessarily seen, but because I intentionally live a life of service, I'm constantly putting myself out on Front Street because I know this gift can ultimately help someone else. And I know that sounds cliche, but I get that affirmed often through people who listen and come up to me and share with me a great exchange of, my music or my voice touching them in some way. So I never want to lose sight of that. And so I very much so teach my children a life of service, a heart of being a servant, because to whom much is given, much is required. And like, why else are you given a gift if not to share? And I don't want to be stingy, which is also why, now that I'm in finance, it's very important to me to help our community with financial literacy. And I know this is off topic, but it just comes back to a life of service, having a servant's attitude and heart for our community. So it's just very special to know that you're loved, and not just from my children, but knowing that I am loved, period. Coming from, like, a higher power, and also that self-love. Like, no one can touch this. When you are tapped into your higher self and you're tapped into God, like, literally there's no one and nothing that can separate you from that truth. And so I was able to discover that truth in adulthood, and since then there's just nothing that can faze me in that way. People have walked away or rejected me in some way, or not chosen me for certain things, but it's all good because there's going to be a door that is better, that is your door, and it's all going to work out because the universe says so. So just having that confidence and knowing that you are deeply and profoundly loved and cherished. I want to shout out my dear beloved Broham, Deontay Scott. I'm actually working with him right now to produce his next album. I produced his first album. He is a spoken word artist. He was on Lexus Versus and Flow on TV. Like, this guy is legit. He works at Facebook. He's so intelligent. He's a good people. And I'm honored again to be working on his second project. I want to shout out Crescent Ballroom, the Van Buren, Rebel Lounge, all of our local performance spots that are right now fundraising to help keep these local performance venues open. And hope we can all do our part to support Arizona's local music because we are so talented and versatile and amazing. Like, we have some dope ass people in this state, and we need these places to stay open so we can continue to thrive as a music community. And I want to shout out Quality Tax Group. I'm now doing taxes, and I want to shout out Devarian Sockwell, who took me under his wing. He's mentoring me, teaching me everything that I want to know about taxes. If you need your taxes done, it's your girl, Tina Estes.
There it is. There it is. And there you have it. Much love and respect to Tina Estes, man. Such a kind soul with an enormous amount of talent. Wish her nothing but the best and nothing less. Make sure you guys hit her up if you're looking for piano lessons also. I guarantee you won't regret it. And make sure you follow her on social media. Shout out to my brother Jimmy Nelson on camera. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to grow, and we can only do that with your help. I hope you guys are enjoying the shows as they continue on. I know it brings us joy delivering them to you. So until next time, stay tuned, stay blessed, stay healthy. Just give me 5, yo.